Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin and today is Friday, which means it is Book Review Friday once again. The book we are talking about today was highly anticipated by myself. I was very excited for this book and I have many thoughts on this. Book. So let's get into it. Today we are talking about The Rotting Within by Matt Kurtz. I have had so many people on Bookstagram say that this is a super scary book. So you know me, I had to try it out. I love being scared. I have to try out something that's gonna be super scary. That's just, it's in my nature. If someone tells me it's scary, I have to try it because I just have to know. So let's talk about the cover. The cover is very eye-catching. It's very disturbing in a muted way. Okay, it's not very loud, it's not very bright, the colors are very neutral, but I really like this ripped effect in the middle right here. I love that. I love the child face right here screaming, looks terrifying, and then the middle portion is just really, it just, I don't know, there's just something about it. Textural, I guess. It looks very textured, which I like. So yeah, it's just playing with textures. There's just something about this cover that I really, really enjoy, even though it is very muted and neutral. So there you go. That's how I feel about that. Let's get into a quick synopsis of this book, and then I will tell you guys how I'm feeling. Living with an abusive boyfriend, Kenzie decides enough is enough and whisks her children away to safety. The safe place she takes them is a bed and breakfast inn run by her estranged grandmother. When they arrive, everything feels really good. They have a safe, warm place to stay, and Kenzie's actually going to work at the inn as a sort of payment. However, they aren't the only ones staying at the inn. There are two mysterious old women living on the third floor that is off limits. Everything seems to be turning around for Kenzie and her children, but there's something living inside the inn, something that doesn't have good intentions. Then the children fall very sick and a storm is brewing outside. So not only will Kenzie have to protect her children from the dangers outside of the inn, but inside as well. Okay, there you go. That's a little quick synopsis for you guys. This is a pretty short book. It's 189 pages, I believe. So I don't want to give too much away from the synopsis, but that's basically the summary of the plot. So let's get into how I'm feeling about this book. I have a lot of feelings about this book. Some of them are very positive feelings, and then some of them, I wouldn't say they're negative feelings, but I dislike some things about this book. So let's start off with what I really enjoyed from this story. First, I love that this book reads like a movie, okay? It has the same feelings, it has that buildup of a movie. It feels like you're watching a horror movie, and I actually really enjoy that because I love horror movies. It's something I watch quite frequently. So, I don't know, when you're reading a book that feels familiar and you can almost picture it behind your eyes, like while you're reading, you can just see it in your head, you can just see what's going on because you've seen it before. It makes it a little easier to picture, I guess. I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe I'm just someone that likes that. So I don't know if everyone will like that, but I certainly found the movie feel to be really fun, and I don't know, it just felt familiar, I guess. It felt like something I was used to. I also think this book would be a really great movie, and honestly, I think I would prefer it as a movie than a book. I think this would be a really good movie. So that would be great if it could be made into a movie. I would love that because I think it would be amazing to watch. The moment the book started, I was tense. I was on edge the moment the book started. I'm pretty sure it's because the book starts with Kenzie fleeing the abusive boyfriend. So that's a tense moment in itself because, you know, she doesn't know if he's coming after her. She doesn't know if he's gonna figure it out really fast or later. She doesn't know. And so you don't know that either. You're just waiting, breath held, hoping that they get away safely. And then they get to the inn, and I was not satisfied by this because obviously it's the very beginning of the book, so I knew this isn't where the story ends, obviously, but I don't know, there was just something about it. I couldn't feel at ease. I was like, no, I have to stay on high alert because something's here. Something's gonna happen. Something. I don't know what it is, but there's something, and I can't get comfortable yet. I couldn't get comfortable. And I don't mean while I was sitting, I mean just mentally. I couldn't get comfortable while reading this book. There was no point where I felt like I could have a sigh of relief or I could just, okay, this might be okay. This might be good. No, the entire time, just high alert, waiting. And then of course you learn that the abusive boyfriend is not the only danger. Like I said, there is something else. So you just are on edge, okay? I was anxiety. I was a ball of anxiety because I just knew that things were gonna get bad. Then you have the added isolation factor here. Kenzie goes to the inn, which is her safe haven. However, the inn is very secluded. It's way out in the boonies. It's not near much, okay? It's out there. And her cell phone doesn't work. They only have the landline. You know, there's an added level of anxiety for me when I'm reading or watching something that the main character is very secluded. I don't like it. It freaks me out. It's a reason why I hate like camping or anything where I'm not close to civilization or I'm not close to getting help or, you know, other people. I'm just someone who doesn't like being that secluded, and it's probably because of books and movies that I've seen that show bad things happen when you're very isolated. So I personally don't like it. So as soon as I knew that they were isolated at this inn, I was like, no, this is bad. This is a bad sign. Bad sign. It was just red alert going off in my brain, like red flag, red alert, get out, get out, get out. But, you know, Kenzie didn't listen to me, so what are you gonna do? Remember how I said that everyone was talking about how scary this book and how terrifying and, oh, it's so scary. Okay, I'm gonna disagree. Now, take this with a grain of salt because my definition of scary is definitely not everyone's definition of scary. So this book is not scary to me. Do I think it is very tense? Do I think it gives me anxiety? Do I think I was on the edge of my seat the entire time? Yes. But those feelings for me are very different than how I feel when I'm scared. When I'm scared, I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm jumpy. If I hear a noise, I'm spooked, okay? That didn't do this for me. That didn't give me those feelings. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just letting you know how I felt while reading it because I did say that people were talking about how scary this book is. So I just want to give you my perspective and tell you that personally, I didn't find it scary. It was pretty intense though. Like I will give it credit for that. It did make me anxious and, you know, it gave me those feelings, but it didn't make me jumpy and it didn't make me look over my shoulder waiting for something to be lurking there, being like, oh, what's that? You know, like look out my door being like, huh? You know, it didn't do that for me. So take that with a grain of salt. Like I said, this might be terrifying to some people, okay? I'm sure some people were freaked out while reading this book. Me, not so much. I still enjoyed the tension. I just want to let you know that I personally wasn't scared. scared while reading it. So one thing I want to hit on is that I didn't find this plot to be very unique or different or, you know, far out and a brand new idea, okay? This is something I've seen a lot. I've seen this done before. It was a familiar plot to me, okay? I've seen this in movies and I've seen this in other books. With that being said, I don't want to say that I didn't find it enjoyable, because I did. I did have fun while reading it. But because of that familiarity and because I did kind of know what was going on, I wasn't really surprised by many things. I did call some things before they occurred. I figured some things out. So the plot twists weren't really plot twists for me. They were more just like, yeah, I figured that was gonna happen because what else would have happened? A little bit of a bummer for me, because I do hate calling things in books. I hate when I'm reading and I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen. Oh, this is what's gonna occur next. I hate when that happens, but yeah, I do want to mention it because it's how I felt. Okay, let's get into the two things that I felt were amiss in this book that I wish had been done differently for me. First, I had a lot of unanswered questions. I felt like there were things mentioned in the book that were never touched on again, and that really irritated me because I don't like unanswered questions left. Sometimes, I mean, it just depends on the book, but with this book, it was just frustrating to have unanswered questions. And a lot of the questions I have to do with characters, so I can't get into specifics because, you know, spoilers. I'm just gonna leave it at that I just wish some extra information had been given. Specifically with the two old women that I mentioned. I'm not gonna touch on them too much, but I just wish more information had been given on them specifically. But there's just a few more instances where things were mentioned or things happened and then they were never talked about again, or they just didn't get explained in the ending, which highly frustrated me because I just wanted to know more. I just needed those questions answered. I think I might have liked the story a little bit more if those questions had been answered, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you know, that's just what happens when you're a reader and you are specific in what you like to read. So, you know, I just had wished just a little bit more information, just like even a little paragraph of explanation I think would have been great, and I didn't get that. So I was a little upset about that because I just have questions. I just have questions. Okay, the last thing that was kind of a miss for me with this book is the ending. Now, we all know that I am a very specific ending kind of gal, okay? I like certain endings for books, and if that book doesn't give me that ending, I'm usually a little irritated, and that's just me. I'm sure that's different with other people because we're all different, but I'm just someone who likes my endings a certain way, and so this ending was very obvious, and it was just frustrating in my opinion. I just didn't care for it. I wish it had ended a little differently, because then I feel like it would have made the plot a little bit more unique in my opinion, because this is a typical ending for this kind of story to me. So I was a little disappointed in that, but what can you do? That's just kind of what happens when you're a reader and you try out all kinds of horror books. The endings aren't always going to be your favorite. So, I mean, I'm not overly upset about that. It's just something I have to deal with. But yeah, I was just a little disappointed by how typical and obvious it was. I wish there was, I don't know, just a minor plot twist would have been great. So yeah, that's my second criticism that I just wish had been a little bit different with this book. Overall, I did enjoy this book despite my criticisms. I had fun reading this book, and I think it's a pretty good book. So if you've been wanting to check this out, or it sounds like something that you would enjoy, I highly recommend it. I am looking forward to checking out more from this author because I really like the whole it felt like a movie aspect. I want to know if that's a reoccurring theme with their work, and if it is, then I am definitely going to check out more from them because I loved how it felt like a movie. That was just really fun for me, so I hope that that's something that they keep doing because it was really well done. So yeah guys, that's going to do it for my review on The Rotting Within by Matt Kurtz. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you've read this book, please let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. I want to know if people feel the same way as I do, or if I'm in the minority here of the feelings I felt, because I don't know. I like knowing if I'm a rare opinion or if people also feel like that, so please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you enjoy from me. That way I can keep providing you with that kind of content. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about movies, makeup, books, horror, all kinds of things. I do a lot on this channel, so hopefully there's something for everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I hope you guys have an even more wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday with a new video. Bye!